guys, I'm Allie and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I am wearing two coats. Don't judge me, it's very cold in here. It is sleeting outside currently, so today I'm going to be doing my October wrap up for you guys. I have about 9 things that I'm going to talk to you guys about. I haven't even looked at my stats. I'm just not ahead of the game today. I did participate in a few readathons. I don't think I completed any of the readathons that I participated in, and if you follow me on Twitter, you guys will know that I was doing like bingo boards, and it didn't do so hot on those either unless I doubled up on like every challenge. Like I would have doubled up the books on the challenges. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half audiobooks, 4 graphic novels, I guess only 1.5 of a physical book. And I'm currently in the middle of reading 3 other books. Kingdom of Ash, The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, and Vicious Rumor. I've been in the middle of those since October, so I just didn't get around to finishing those. I did also DNF the Sacrifice box in October. I'm not really gonna go into it. This was just such a disappointment. The writing of this is kind of weird. It just is trying to be over dramatic and it doesn't really need to be, and it really misses what it's trying to tell you. Like it's just trying to be too dark and poetic and it just doesn't come off as what I need it to be. There is bullying and there is a lot of just really negative terms being thrown around towards the gay community. It continued throughout, and I just don't feel the connection between these people, and they're all just, that you're trying way too hard to be different, so I DNF that. So besides that, let's go ahead and get into the things that I actually finished reading in October. There will be timestamps down below so you guys can check those out and just bounce around to whatever you need to. For the audiobooks, I'm gonna kill 2 right off the bat here. I continued listening to the Cirque series. I am doing the read along, and technically it is still happening. It was supposed to end in October, but your girl has not finished the last trilogy of the series, so I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna keep commenting on the Goodreads, so if you're part of that and you want to catch up, there's still time because your girl is still lacking. I am almost done the next one in the series. If you guys don't know, this is about a boy. This is about a boy who goes to a Cirque to freak and sees this spider that he really wants. She does like these magic tricks, so he steals her, and of course the guy that owns the spider is a vampire, of course, and he's like, hey, I know that you stole my spider, so now that you have to come be a vampire with me. And this, of course, that's just the summary of the first book. This follows Darren Shan as he goes into the vampire world and all the things that come with it, and fighting the vampanese and keeping the vampires alive and things like that. And it's just, the audiobooks are fantastic. I would highly recommend them. I gave, let's see, I think I gave both of these 5 stars. I really enjoyed. That was Allies of the Night and Killers of the Dawn. I should probably say that. I had a really great reading month. So then we have Full Darkness Starts. This is my first ever Stephen King book, and it is a collection of short stories because I love short story collections. Well, actually, there are like 4 novellas, I guess. It was a pretty good introduction into Stephen King just because it had some of those dark and twisted elements. There is a story about a man that kills his wife, and about like these rats that are like basically trying to get revenge on him. There is a story about a woman that is raped in this. There is one about a woman who finds out that her husband is a serial killer. Like there's all these like different aspects to the stories that have that dark Stephen King-ness about them. They weren't like too far-fetched like it, so that I was still like comfortable reading them. I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. Then we have The Sea Witch, and this is kind of like Ursula's origin story. It is how she came to be, although that is not the name that they use. It is kind of like that. This is about a girl who lives in a world where magic is really frowned upon, but she is a witch kind of deal, and she is best friends with the prince. One of their friends, their best friend, drowned years ago, and now something happens and basically this girl shows up and looks exactly like their best friend who had died. And some things are a little off about her, and they become close, and there's just a lot of other things happening there. But this is basically how that turn of events, this girl showing up, really puts that into place for the things that happen that make Ursula Ursula. This was actually a really fantastic read. I love this. This was just so much fun. I love listening to it. I will say there is a little bit of like a love triangle. It doesn't really come off as a love triangle, but like you can definitely feel the tension between like 3 of the characters that are happening. So if that bothers you, maybe not the book for you. But for the most part, I just thought this was really fun. I liked seeing the friendship dynamics. I liked seeing like the different magic aspects of it. I liked hearing about their background stories and the things that happened to them as kids. So this was just lots of fun, and I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. And then we have the half audio that I'm counting because I listened to some of this and read some of it. I think I read more than I listened to, but that was Toil and Trouble, and this was like a group read for the Spookathon, I think. Yeah, this was a group read for that, and I was really excited about this. This is short story collection, anthology of witches and witchcraft, women and magic basically. And this was a really fantastic anthology. I loved almost all the stories in it. I liked that it wasn't just about like your standard witches or your standard magic system. Like there were stories that just were kind of like totally different than what I would have ever considered. There was one about like a necromancy type witch in a world that really frowns upon that. There was one that was just about astrology. There was one where it was like based around destiny and how this girl like went against her own destiny. Like there was just some really empowering stories in this, and I really loved them. There is some lesbian rep in this as well, and I just was like all for it. It was such a good read, and the stories went by really quickly, and they were just all so different. I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. So now I'm gonna get into the graphic novels. One graphic novel that I read was The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. This is just a graphic novel adaptation of the story. I didn't realize how far like the movie went with its own kind of storyline until I read this. This did give some background on the author and the things that he had gone through and the story that he had created, and reading it was just so, I don't know, it was like almost nostalgic in a way, but it was also eye-opening because I've only ever seen the movie, and to hear all the other background parts of the story and to actually get the full story was just so refreshing, and I loved it. It like renewed my love for The Wizard of Oz, and I do think I'll continue on because there are more in this graphic novel series. So, and I really liked it. The artwork was really fun. It was really cute. This is, I believe, a J graphic novel, but it was really cute. So I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. And we have Raven the Pirate Princess Volume 5, and Raven the Pirate Princess is one of my favorite graphic novel series, and I'm really glad that it has continued because it was up for like cancellation there for a while. Like, thank goodness they came out with more. These are really fun. This follows an all-female pirate crew, and they are going back to get Raven the Pirate Princess's kingdom back, basically. Volume was not my favorite just because this was very heavy on romance, and while that's great and all, I really liked the action that came from the beginning of the series. I was hoping that they would get more into progression into actually saving the kingdom, but this had like absolutely no progression towards that at all. It was all about people pairing up, basically. They even joke about it. They're like the dreaded pairing up of characters, and that's basically what this was. Not saying that I didn't like it, because I do like some of the things that are going on. I like the relationships. They're basically all bi and lesbian relationships. My ship died though, so not so happy about that. I do wish this had a little more progression to the storyline, but I still gave it 4 out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed it and it's lots of fun. So, and we have The Witch Boy, which I think someone posted in my comments the other day that they just came out with a sequel for The Witch Boy, and I'm really excited about that because The Witch Boy was fantastic. This is about a young boy. He is born into this world that is like women are witches and men are shapeshifters, and there's no, you can't be one, you can't be the other thing. But he strongly believes that he is a witch and he has the power to be a witch and not a shapeshifter. His family is not very understanding about this, and they're basically like, you can't do that, bad things will happen. Well, then this demon thing shows up and starts like eating some of the kids or something, and he, you know, decides he's gonna use his magic to save the day and show his family like, listen. And like the background story to this, there's like different family aspects that you get out of this, and it's just about like accepting yourself and being who you are, and it was so cute, it was so good. So I am eager to see if there really is a sequel, and I'll definitely be picking that up. This was such a quick read. It is a thicker graphic novel, but it was so quick and it was so good. So make sure to pick it up. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Then the last graphic novel that I have to talk to you guys about is Saga Volume 9. I don't want to talk about it, but it was really good. I gave 5 out of 5 stars, and I sobbed my eyes out. Who thought it was okay? Who thought it was okay? And I'm so addicted every time it comes out. I will say it's a little weird and it's a little very sexually graphic, so be warned of that, because no one ever tells you that, and whenever you open up one of the pages and you're like, dear Jesus. I read one of these in public one time. That was a bad choice, because then someone was probably like, what kind of kinky shit you into? Like, what can I say? Alien kink is where it's at. So that is all that I have to talk to you guys about today, because I already told you about Toil and Trouble with the audiobooks. So that was the only like real physical thing I guess I finished. That doesn't seem right. I feel like I finished something else. Well, in any case, that's all that I have to tell you guys about today. It was a really great reading month for me, even though I couldn't like physically sit down to really read anything. I just didn't have the time. I still feel like I got a lot accomplished, and I was really happy with everything that I read. I really enjoyed it, which is great because now I'm in a reading slump. Hope you guys have liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to see future wrap-ups from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!